Do you ever think of what goes on in a crime scene? Do you ever think about maybe, let's say, who collects evidence, what goes on, and all of that good stuff? Wouldn't you want to know just in case for any future reference? We as American citizens must all be treated fairly and our rights must be protected at all times. In my speech today, I will be enlightening you all, and informing you all too, on people who preserve the crime scene, the evidence that is collected, and how it is presented in court. First off, it is extremely important and crucial that the right person comes first to handle the crime scene. The first people to usually arrive are police officers. We call police officers first to handle any accident that has happened or if any crime has been committed. According to www.crime-scene-investigator.net/possiblehomicide.html accessed July 10th, 2017, the police officers must secure the crime scene first. This is extremely important because when there's a crime scene, it can happen that evidence can be tampered with, evidence can be removed, evidence can be eliminated, and that really does affect the whole outcome of the case. So it's extremely important that police officers come first and they close off the crime scene so that other specialists can do their jobs. After the police officers are done preserving the crime scene, the CSI specialists come into play. It is extremely important that no evidence is thrown away, touched before the CSI gets there. Once the CSI arrives at the scene, they must take a good look at the whole crime scene. They must be able to look into great detail. They must be able to make questions, make some stories as to what happened within that crime scene. According to www.forensicscience.org/site/how.html access July 10, 2017, this allowed the CSI agent to make up a few stories as to the possibilities to what happened within that crime scene. After the CSI has looked around, it is important for the CSI to take mental notes as well as physical paper notes. When the CSI specialist or any other expert goes into court, it is important that they show their notes so that we can get a better picture and idea in our head of what happened in that crime scene or what the specialist first saw within that crime scene. After that, their notes are extremely helpful in determining what went on. And after the CSI has done the notes, next is to take pictures. Pictures are extremely important because there must be a specific technique as to how to take pictures. You can take pictures specifically in, let's say, close-up shots, medium range shots, and different angles, so that's important as well. They should take pictures from all angles, close-ups, and medium range shots as well. This allows the CSI to have a lot more pictures, and then they should carefully look at all details in the crime scene and potential relevant evidence. You would be surprised at how the smallest detail makes a lot of difference in court. After the CSI is done looking at the evidence should be recorded and physical evidence should be collected. This is where the CSI must be careful. Physical evidence is very difficult to deal with and handle, and this must be handled with care. All evidence should be properly marked, tagged, and placed in its correct bagging or any type of paper bag, any type of plastic bag. An example of preserving evidence would be, let's say, dried up blood stains. You'd have to wait 48 hours for it to dry and then immediately send it to the laboratory. If the blood is not dried within 48 hours, then the blood will be useless and it will be eliminated out of court, and that really does affect the outcome. After all evidence is collected and rescued, the experts, the CSI specialists, and the police officers will then present it in court. This makes it a lot easier because Experts are specifically trained for preserving that specific evidence and for processing all of it so that it makes sense in court. This prevents any confusion within the jury or within the judge or within the attorneys. So it's better that the specialists handle the presentation of the evidence so that no one is confused. I gave you all an idea of how to properly obtain evidence, what police officers do prior to collecting the evidence, preserving the crime scene, making sure everything is locked in properly, and waiting for the CSI specialists and other experts to do their job. I hope you guys have learned a little bit of information on what happens in a crime scene, and you guys should know that your rights are protected as well.